Hi, this is Melanie Ingalls at Lake Washington Institute of Technology eLearning. Today I'm going to show you how to add a Collaborate session. It's also known as Elluminate. The first thing you need to do is go to angel.lwtc.edu. Again, that's angel.lwtc.edu. Your username is your employee ID, your 885 number, and your password if you've never logged in before is the first 5 letters of your last name. Enter your username and password and click the Logon button. Now that you're on the Angel homepage, click on the course where you want to add your Elluminate or Collaborate session. Click on the Communicate tab because that's where your Elluminate Live nugget is located. Now that you're in here, you can see your Elluminate Live nugget. You can see I actually have a session set up and there's a link to my session. Click the pencil in the right-hand corner of your Elluminate Live box. Again, the name is changed to Blackboard Collaborate, but you'll still see Elluminate Live for a while until they modify everything with this name change. At this point, you're in the edit screen and you can add sessions. You can also edit or delete old sessions that are in there. Click Add Session. This brings you to the Session tab. Type your session's name and then select a start and end date by using the calendar and the time space. You cannot start a session prior to the time that it actually is. You can only start it exactly at that time or after the time. Your end date can be, I think it's up to a year. So I'm going to stay on today's date. Stay within the time it's 20 minutes from now, and give it an hour meeting. You can also choose to repeat sessions daily, on certain weekdays, or weekly. I'm going to select Never Repeats. Check the box to save it to the calendar so your students can see the link on the calendar and you can as well. Click the next tab, which is Session Access. This is allowing students, moderators, yourself to go in the session early. It also displays a link for your session at the time before that you're allowing students in. So if you wanted students to start, if your meeting started at 11:30 but you let students in 30 minutes early, then when they go to the class, the link will be available starting at 11 o'clock. I like to give people at least 30 minutes to play around with audio, to log in, make sure everything works. But you can also lengthen this to 60 minutes, but I would not go below 15 or 0. I'd give them 30. The next tab is Moderators and Participants. I don't have any students in my class, but this is where all those people in your classroom will be listed and their roles will be listed. Right now, you can select to restrict participants, and that gives them restricted rights inside of the Collaborate session. Um, you can also make everyone a moderator, which means they can present, they can use a mic whenever they want to, etc. That's a bit risky, especially with students. You may want to control what they're doing. You can still leave them as a role as a student and not restrict them. So I wouldn't check the restrict participants button. And I wouldn't necessarily select all moderators unless you want, unless it's a small meeting. I've seen this used for much smaller meetings then if it's maybe you're meeting with a team instead of all of the students in your class. Otherwise, leave these unchecked. Um, and then you can select, so your participants down here will appear. So all the students in your class will appear. Let's say you have a student that has to present. You can select their name, you can click on it, and then click on the arrow to the moderators, and their name will appear in the moderators box. So it gives them the actual role so they can actually present. So if you know some of that beforehand, you can select a few people. Or if you're co-teaching, you can select your other course editor to also present. The next tab is Session Attributes. You can have the session start recording automatically. You know, if you don't want to forget to record it, you can disable it and not be able to record, or you can select that it's a manual record mode. If you think that you're going to forget, do automatic. Maximum simultaneous talkers. Sometimes when people talk over each other, it's very difficult to understand what's going on. Sometimes there's also feedback. So I would leave this at 1. You can also select that the participants have their hand raised upon entry, or that they have all permissions, which again you want to be very careful with unless it's a small meeting, or you can check that they're supervised. When you're finished making your selections, click the Create button, and you can email to the moderator and the participants. It doesn't send the link. If you continue and send confirmation email, you just get an email that the meeting has been set up and what time and date it's set up on. So if you're doing this session with students, then I would say continue and send confirmation email. If you're not, you can continue and not send one. Now, as you can see, I'm back in the edit mode, and my meeting link is there. My meeting hasn't started yet. It starts at 11:45, but I let people enter the classroom 30 minutes early, and it's 11:30 or 11:28 right now. So that means my link is showing up. So if we click back on the Communicate button, any unsaved changes will be lost. This is okay. We didn't make any changes. You'll see that room now. So you can click on it and enter it. Your students will also be able to see it. So they can either come here to the Communicate tab to access that link, or they can click on Calendar. I believe we saved it to the calendar. Again, we didn't make any changes, so it's okay. And the link is there. You can also put the Illuminate tab or nugget on your course homepage. So click on Course, click Edit Page, click Add Components, search for the Illuminate live session, check the box next to it, click Add Selected, now they're going to show up on my course homepage. Click the Save button. And now when my students log into the course, they're going to see those links right away. It makes it a lot easier for them to find, and that's exactly what you want to do.